Hey guys, welcome to the show tonight. You see the wrench, you know how this goes. This is irrelevant, but it does mean that we are going to take this thing apart today and then reassemble it as well. So let's get right into this here. Prove clear, drop that mag. Next up, we can actually, we'll pop the optic off. We don't need that on here right now. This charging handle is going to come off first. What you do, this little spring-loaded guy. If you have a Gen 1 gun, there's going to be a little detent you push in with the tip of a bullet. But this guy here, you just push in, pull it out, and easily swappable from side to side that way. You just double check that this little part with this little spring tab is facing down, the flat side's facing up. That's how you're good to go. Okay, we'll set that thing aside. Zukov stock, we're going to fold that guy. I probably needed to charge this thing. I don't know if it's charged. It might still be charged. If not, I'm going to have a bit of a tough time here. Yeah, I'm having a bit of a tough time. So, before you do any of this stuff... Oh, actually, I'm full of it here. I proved the gun clear, which automatically means it's going to be charged. I'm forgetting a key step, though, which is to hinge open the receiver. So the little button back here, you just press that in. That's going to unlock the upper and lower here, so it hinges down. You can fully take this apart if you want to pull off the screw. Not necessary though. So from here I can, it's actually got a very similar system, strikingly similar. I don't know why, sometimes they get stuck on the piston though. I noticed when I did a test install disassembly reassembly, it likes to get stuck on that piston. It's got an identical system to a SIG 550. I don't know that the parts are actually interchangeable, but the whole gas tube, gas regulator, carrier, piston, everything is very similar, right down to the fact that the charging handle connects the two. So that's pretty cool. Check this out. That's an AK bolt. Very similar to it. Comes apart the same way as well. There's your carrier. Again, if you looked at my videos on the SIG 550 or 553, I did pretty thorough takedowns there. So you can see exactly how similar this is. At any rate, at this point, that's your basic field strip. You can see inside the receiver here. And then if you want to get your gas system out too, well, that's pretty easy. We're just going to depress that lever, get the regulator to a point where it's spun around. You can pop the regulator out actually on its own before this whole assembly pops out. There's your regulator. Should make this a little bit brighter here for you. And then your gas tube comes out. Again, very SIG 550-ish. And we have a piston in here as well, which again looks identical. This is your recoil spring, all retained around it. A pretty slick system. So that's your gun. I'm gonna hopefully the reassembly goes a little bit better for me today. I found it was a little tricky when I did my test reassembly. Again, I ran through this once to be familiar with everything for you guys. And I found it a little bit tricky to get back together. But I guess let's take a quick pause for the cause. I'm gonna do my internal review, discuss the internals quickly. Those go into my main overview video, which is gonna be up tomorrow. And then we're just gonna jump right back into this and reassemble it for the rest of this video. Then I got my bonus gun for you guys, and then we're done. So without further ado, and boom. Okay, so things changed a little bit here. I did my little discussion on how the system works, what's going on with this thing. Let's now pop it back apart. By the way, how AK-ish does that look? That's what this thing looks like when it's inside here. So let's pop this back apart. This just likes to get stuck. Or I'm doing something wrong and not realizing it, which is totally possible. I've done that before. Okay, anyways, now we're ready to toss this thing back in. I'm going to toss the gas tube in first because tilting the gun back and forth, I find it can be a little bit awkward. I find it was more easy when I just put this guy in first. Click, that guy's all in. Okay, now the bolt I really had a tricky time lining up with. It was better just to come to this from an upward angle, get the little rails fitted in properly. Again, the bolt needs to be in the forward position. So that goes through. There she goes. She's home. She's home. At this point in time, I can literally hinge close the receiver. So again, just push in this indent inside here. See that there? Kind of, not really. Then we push it in. She's closed. Stock back open. Now all we got to do is put our gas system back in. So we're going to start with our piston. We want this little notch facing down. So we're going to put that guy in. And we're just getting a bit disoriented here. Okay, now we can see that in there. Now I just got to push it so that that goes through. Trickiest part, because mine is stiff and it doesn't like to go back together. There we go. Now we're almost there. Okay, so there I've put some pressure on the carrier from the rear, poked at the piston from the front, got it all the way in there, and now we're just going to take again our charging handle with a little spring opening facing down, pop that in there, and she's good to go. Now the whole operating system is connected. We just got to put our gas regulator back in. Drop that guy in. Press down this little button here, and then swing it in, and it'll engage. She's good to go. Quick function check. That's it, guys. We're good to go. That's complete disassembly, reassembly of your M+M M10X -Z DMR. Cool beans, guys. And now your bonus gun. This time I brought in something from Argentina, made by Bersa. This is the Thunder 9 Pro. Actually a really nice Beretta alternative. The only beef with it is that you have to really pull it all the way back, and then she goes. And even on single action, you got to really squeeze all the way back and then a little bit more, and then the trigger goes. But actually, otherwise, it does have a nice double action pull. Nice light single action. I like these scalloped grooves up front. These are known for being a very economical but quality gun. And again, made by Bersa in Argentina. Just good features. I really like the safety. It's just, everything's ambi as well. The safety, the slide release also functions as a decocker. Pretty cool. That's the gun. This was my first semi-automatic 9mm. I've had this thing for almost 4 years now. It's been a great gun. That's the show for today, guys. Thanks a ton. Arm&Gun out.